Hey everybody, Jeff here from Outseta. Today in this tutorial, I'm going to walk you through setting up Outseta's single sign-on functionality using OpenID Connect. Our customers who use this feature want to use single sign-on to log users into multiple products concurrently. So today what I'm going to do is demonstrate how you can implement Outseta in a way where you're logging into both a Webflow website and a Circle community at the same time with the same login. The benefit of doing this, for example, is you could launch a membership site on Webflow where you're protecting content on the Webflow site. So users actually need to log into the Webflow site. But as part of that same login, they also want to get logged into your Circle community so they can have the same login credentials and be logged into both products concurrently. On my screen right now, I've got the site I'm going to be working with. You can always visit this site at outseta-demo.webflow.io. I've got a Circle community. I've already created this community. I've got Webflow open to the site that I'll be working with. I've got a Outseta account that is going to get hooked up to both the website and the Circle community. And I've also got my documentation here that I can refer back to that will walk you through this process. This video is just going to show you in video format how to follow each of these steps. There's really three things that we need to do. And the first is set up what we call OAuth clients. So I'm going to jump into Outseta. You come down here to settings and integrations, and you're going to click on OAuth right here. What we're doing here in short is telling Outseta which products, which sites users are going to be logged into concurrently. So the first thing I'm going to do is click create one now. And let's start with our Webflow website. Call it our Webflow website. The callback URL in this case is just going to be the URL of the site itself, which is this. And you can also add a logout redirect URL. This is essentially when somebody logs out, where do you want that person to end up next? So I'm going to go ahead and put that same homepage URL. If I refer back to my docs here, it will basically demonstrate that that's what you want to do. And now I click add. This is basically just communicating to Outseta. We want to log the user into this Webflow website. When the user does log out, we want to send them to this redirect URL. So I'm going to go ahead and click add. You'll see some values are created here. That's totally fine. Just go ahead and click close. So the first one is done. Next, we're going to click add OAuth client again, and I'm going to write Circle community. The callback URL in this case comes directly from Circle. It's very important that you get a value that Circle provides and put it in this field. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to log into my Circle account. I'm logged in as an admin user. I can come down here. Let's see, how do I get to settings in Circle? They've moved it on me. It's up here. Yep, I click settings. I click single sign-on. And within Circle, if you come to this single sign-on page, you can set up the SSO feature. You're going to want to enable it. You can choose whether you want to allow members to log in with Circle and Outseta or both. I'm going to allow both for now, but really the important information is down here where it says OAuth provider. You want to select Outseta, and then these values will be provided for you by Circle. And importantly, we need the callback URL provided. We're going to copy this right here. And if we want a logout redirect, we can send people back to sort of the homepage of your Circle community, or you could send people back to your website. You don't need to enter any value. I'm just going to leave it blank for now. But once I do that, these values here are provided, and we do need these values. So I'm going to go ahead and grab these, and these actually get input. I misspoke. These get input back on this screen. So Outseta provides a client ID. Let's copy that and put it here. It also provides a secret key. Let's copy that, put it here. And last but not least, it provides, what was the last one? An Outseta URL. So this is just the URL of the Outseta account that you're working with. In this case, we are going to change this out and make it the URL of our Outseta account, which is this one. All right, so now we have connected those values provided when we created the OAuth client for Circle in Outseta. We've taken those values, we've input them here into the Circle community, and we're going to go ahead and click Save Changes. All right, at that point, we have sort of connected everything. Both Circle and Webflow are set up, and Outseta knows when somebody logs in, we want to log both into the Webflow website and into the Circle community. Now we can move on to step 2, which is editing the header script added into the header of the Webflow website. So I'm within Webflow now. I can come up here. I can go to Project Settings. I'm going to come over to Custom Code. And you can see right now there is this embed script added into the header of the site. This is sort of Outseta's standard embed script. I'm going to remove all of this for now. Let me just throw this document for later. All right, back into Webflow. Now we need to add header code specific to using OpenID Connect SSO with this particular site. And you can grab the script that you need directly from this support article. So I'm going to grab this. And we're going to add this in here. There is one other script that we're going to need. So if I come back to auth and embeds, we always need to paste this little bit after the initial script. There we go. And now we've got the code that we need in our site. The one thing that you do want to make sure that you change is the code provided in the documentation here says yourdomain.com. You need to put in the URL of the actual Outseta account that you're using, which in this case is webflow-demo.outseta.com. And that should be it. We're going to go ahead and click Save Changes. And now we can go back into our Webflow site. Oops. And the final step is going to be working with our login link. So this site already has a login link in the header, or the navigation rather. I'm going to go ahead and click on that login link. I can come over here. I can click Edit Component. And there's a couple things that we need to do here. The main one is if we come down to where it says Custom Attributes, we can add an attribute. And that attribute is going to be data-o-link, and the value is going to be 1. What you have as a URL set here really doesn't matter in this case. You can use your homepage URL, for example. So let's actually just do that for now. That's going to work fine. That's saved, which is great. All right, and we're going to go ahead and publish these changes now. So there were 3 steps there, just to sort of review. The first was you needed to set up the 2 OAuth clients, both for the Webflow site and the Circle community. Basically, whatever products you need to log into concurrently, products or sites. The second is you needed to add that header script. You do want to grab that from our documentation. Importantly, it has this line that says auth mode OIDC, which stands for OpenID Connect. You need to edit the domain here to match the domain of your Outseta account or the login URL of your Outseta account. And then finally, we took our login link and we added the attribute data O login link, which is mentioned here. Those are really the changes that need to be made for all of this to work. So now that this is published, we can go back to the site. And there's a few things that we can do to sort of test that this is working properly. And actually, before we do that, I do want to mention I've already added this community button here. I need to hook this community button up to a very specific URL. So when that button is clicked, the user is automatically logged in to your Circle community. So let's jump back over here. You can see I can select this community button, and you're going to input that same URL. That is, how do I edit it? Here we go. The same URL that we grabbed from Circle previously. It is what they show down here as the callback URL. Any button, any link that you want to use so that somebody clicks on it and then ends up directly in Circle, you'll use this callback URL. And we can open that either in this tab or in a new tab. It doesn't matter. Let's say a new tab for the sake of this example. We're going to go ahead and publish that. Or actually, you know what? Let's make it this tab. It shouldn't matter, but all right. So with those changes being published, we should be ready to investigate how all this works, and we can go ahead and give it a go. All right. So here I am. I'm on the site now. You can see we have a login link, we have a community button, we have a sign up button. If I click this login link, when you're using Outseta SSO, it's going to kick you out to a separate page to log in. This is a very common practice with any sort of single sign-on. So the way to think about this is think of if you've ever logged into a product with Google. When you go ahead and do so, the very first time they're going to kick you out to a separate page. You need to enter your login credentials and actually log into Google. And then on subsequent logins, you don't need to do that. You can just click a button and be logged in. It's the same concept at play here. So the first thing I just tested was just clicking that login link. It kicked me out to that page, which is great. So now I'm going to go through the actual sign-up flow. I'm going to log in, I'm going to create credentials, and then you'll see how those credentials will log me into both this site as well as the community. So let's click sign up. I'm going to click free, say Jeff plus 400 at outseta.com. How about Jeff plus 401? There we go. And we are going to call this SSO test. Need a checkout. I don't need any of this stuff. We click complete sign up. And we get sent to a thank you page. Now I've got an email waiting in my email inbox that asks me to confirm my account and set a password. I can go ahead and establish a password. And this is important too. So with SSO, you are going to be asked to first establish a password, and then you need to log in with that password. When you log in with that password the very first time, it will establish those credentials with the different tools that you're logging into. And you won't need to sort of do that second login again, but you do need to the very first time set that password. And now that that password has been input, I've been logged into the Webflow site now. And a very important part here is when you're logging into multiple products concurrently, one of those products is going to be sort of your primary login, where you land when you initially log in, and the other is going to be secondary. So which one becomes the primary login is based on what you set in Outseta. If you come to auth, sign up and login, and whatever you set as your post login URL. So I set that to be just a page on the Webflow site. That is a page of protected content, by the way. So you can see that's where I landed. I logged in. I'm logged into the Webflow site. You'll see some additional links appeared. I can now log out. I can now access my profile, which can be used to do things like change my subscription or edit my billing information, for example. Those are good indications that you've actually been logged into the site successfully. But now I'm here, I've checked out some protected content, and I want to just seamlessly jump into the Circle community. There's this Circle community button here. I can go ahead and click that, and I'm logged directly into Circle. So you can see how you can kind of bounce between the two and remain logged into both. If you have any questions whatsoever on setting this up, please let us know. But hopefully this tutorial was instructive on that process. Thanks so much.